Hello there, welcome to Season 3 of the Coming Down to Earth with Spirit podcast with me, your host, David Hale. In this season, we'll continue talking about all things to do with mediumship, the spiritual world, but also answering your questions to help you on your own spiritual journey or mediumship development. In this new season, I'll also be introducing some new horoscope readings done month by month per star sign, so do keep your ears out for those. But without further ado, let's get into this episode and I'll see you on the other side. Well, hello there, you lovely lot. I hope you're doing fabulously well. Thank you as always for tuning in to the podcast. And I know it's been a little while since the last episode was released, which I hope you enjoyed. It was a topic which many people in the industry do talk about, the ego in mediumship. But I do hope that you've equally liked the other episodes that I've put out as well, whether it be regarding evidence in mediumship and my thoughts and opinions on other topics within the mediumship and spiritual world. But with that said, I'm announcing in this episode, and you may have seen this in my monthly newsletter if you're subscribed to the newsletter, and that is that this is going to be the last episode of Season 3, and indeed the last episode of the Coming Down to Earth with Spirit podcast. Now, it's something I've been thinking about for a little while, not taking a decision lightly, but I feel like it's time to move on to new things and to wrap this podcast up and put it to bed, at least for now. Because there is something else coming, which you might have seen on my Facebook page, and that is called the Spirit Lounge. And that's all I'm going to give you for the moment. So although this podcast will wrap itself up in this episode, there is something else that will be coming to maybe replace this podcast. So I'm going to keep it cryptic for the moment, but hopefully you'll enjoy what's going to come. So just give some of my reasons really for wrapping up this Coming Down to Earth with Spirit podcast. I think, there's only so much that you can sit and talk into a microphone yourself, just talking about what you want to talk about. And I say that because I'm not really one for doing a lot of interviews. I have done 3 interviews for this podcast with Bill Q, Psychic Medium, Glenda Marie, Psychic Medium, and a medium over in Canada, Courtney Dawson. And I've really enjoyed them interviews. But I think with the time that I've got, because I'm quite busy doing a lot of other things, I don't necessarily have the time to be contacting other mediums to get them on the podcast, to then prepare for the interview, to then do the interview, to then edit everything, mix it, master it, produce it, edit it, publish it. There's a lot of work that goes into the podcast behind the scenes. And so it's just having time for everything. But also you have to look at the input versus the output as well. So what I will say with that is, I appreciate every single person that has been following the podcast from the very, very beginning, which was been nearly 2 years now, I think, since I first released the podcast, Season 1. So I appreciate everyone that has followed the podcast, has listened to it, that has left me comments and reviews about certain episodes. Those of you that have also sent in questions in the past as well, for me to answer and turn into a podcast. And they were really important for me because without those questions, there wasn't really going to be a podcast. Because ultimately, although I'm talking about what my views and opinions on certain topics are, the podcast really isn't about me. It's about you guys and anyone that has followed my work for a long time. Although that I do mediumship, I also like to educate and share my knowledge as well in a down-to-earth way, to dispel those myths and some of the nonsense that's out there, some of the nonsense that's taught, some of the nonsense that's spoken about, some of the nonsense that actually frightens people and distresses people, and I'm putting that in the bin, and I'm putting my own spin on things and giving my own views and opinions on it. And that's really what the podcast has been about for me. It's teaching, sharing knowledge, and giving you guys something else to think about. And as I always say, as you know, I wasn't doing it to convince people or to have people come to my way of thinking, because my opinion is just my opinion, like everything out there. So that's why the podcast started, really. And again, it was with your questions that I could then take and then turn those questions into a podcast. But I feel like some of that has diminished since the beginning of season 3. So I think it's time just to do something new, change things up, and so therefore something else is coming. But I do think that is, as I'm talking about that, is probably the message for everybody this year, in your own lives, whether it be in your personal life or your work life, is that be aware, or just consider where you're placing your energy. Where is your energy utilised the best or utilised the most? So when you're putting your heart and soul into things, is then looking at what is the outcome of that? What is the output? Are you reaching as many people as you want to reach? Are you getting a return on what you're giving out? And if you're not, you then have to look at, okay, then why am I doing it, and what am I doing it for? Who am I doing it for? Is it actually helping people? Am I getting feedback from it, and all those things? So I think, with the world as it is, with the world going mad, and it's seeming not quite balanced, I think some things are a little bit unfair. People's bills are going up, and cost of living and all this business, which I am not exempt from whatsoever. I'm affected just as much as everybody else. You do have to start looking at, okay, what is important? Where should I be placing my energy? Should it be over here where I'm people pleasing? Should it be over here where I'm actually earning some money? Is it over here where I'm doing things I'm actually passionate about and not doing it just for the sake of doing it? So we have to look at those things just as humans, and in whatever part of life that is for you. So I think that really is my little message to everybody, is look at where you're placing your energy. And where is it being, again, that sounds like a parrot, where is it being utilised the best and the most? So it's just something to consider. I think we all need to think about that at the moment, so we can actually survive. Well, actually not survive, but actually live. There's a difference between living and surviving, and we want to live. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people at the moment are just trying to survive. But I think we need to change things ourselves in order to make that a little bit easier for us. And so with that said, this is a very, very short episode. Again, thank you very much to everybody that has supported me and supported this podcast. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be around, right? I'm still doing my mediumship and all those kind of things. So I'm not going anywhere. It's just the Coming Down to Earth with Spirit podcast will be retiring, at least for the moment. But I think it's time for it to go to bed and have a rest for a while. So thank you very much to everybody. Thank you very much for supporting it, for sharing it, for recommending it, for commenting on it, reviewing it. I very, very much appreciate it. But I will be back, as I say, I will be back with a Spirit Lounge, and there's more to come on that, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So keep your ears and eyes out for that. In the meantime, you can keep up with me on my Facebook page, which is under David H. Spiritual Medium. My website, which is www.davidhmedium.co.uk. I'm on Instagram, David H. Spiritual Medium. Where else am I? I'm on YouTube as well. So if you want to watch some videos of me on YouTube, there's different interviews on there as well, then do go ahead, and that's David H. Spiritual Medium as well, I think. So I try to keep everything the same, but I do forget. But anyhow, I'm going to love you and leave you, otherwise I'll just sit here just waffling on, and I don't want to do that. So look after yourselves, take care of yourselves, and I'm sure I will see you at some point soon, whether it be online or in a live physical space like a church or a centre or somewhere like that, and connect with you that way. So look after yourselves, and I'll speak to you somewhere soon.